going live? Namaste and welcome to Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam. This is our yoga studio. We jazzed it up a little bit with some colors. But otherwise, it's just a regular yoga with a yoga mat, you with your body, which is the temple. And the whole idea of this journey is to go within and understand the body in the first place, and then discover other dimensions within this body. We always begin the class with 3 Oms. Oms or Omkara is the practice. It is a Kriya. In Hatha Yoga, when we start the yoga class, we will do this Omkara as a Kriya. The difference between this Omkara as a Kriya versus Om for meditation is this Kriya brings your awareness out, makes you more awakened. Also, this Kriya focuses on the breath and the cleansing of the lungs, if you will. All right? So when we chant the Om, all you have to remember here is you got to take a deep breath, fill your lungs, and then breathe out loudly, and along with your the sound that comes out of your mouth, allow a lot of air to escape as well. So in other words, feel the air escaping the lungs, empty the lungs completely along with the Om. Let the prana from within, the life force from within, go out into the universe along with the breath. A lot of toxins are released with this Kriya. So this becomes a preliminary Kriya for the next one that we will do. And this will be a standard way, and as we go along, we will add 2 or 3 or 4 of these Kriyas before we begin a yoga class. But today, let's focus on Om and one more Kriya before we go on to some warm-up exercises. All right? So Om, we all know, you simply chant the Om as it is, Om, but loudly, and let a lot of air escape from your mouth as well. So sit fairly straight. Please do not sit hunched like this. I don't want you to be sitting like this. Also, if you are not able to sit on the ground, I have these stools. So you can use a stool to sit on. I have different sizes just to show you that these are available. These are available in any store. If you have something nearby, you can grab that too. You also have a chair that you could sit on, right? You can do the same Kriya sitting on the chair, and the other Kriya that will follow you can also do in the chair. So I will do that showing sitting down and on the chair. And for those of you who want to go somewhere in between, then you could come and use a stool like this. Okay? The important thing is the spine should be straight. For these Kriyas, you can even sit like this and do the Kriya. But I would suggest if you're sitting for me, this kind of thing is an awkward height. I don't use this for practice, so that's why I'm trying to find my place. But you could just sit with your legs like this and do the Kriya, but make sure you don't fall off as you bend forward. That's why either the chair or the ground is better. But it depends if you find these comfortable. You can use them. The important thing in a yoga practice, see, I use, this is what I use, a small plank. The important thing in a yoga practice is that you don't sit fully on the ground. We'll explore this more in our theory classes. I don't want to go too much in detail, but very simple. If you sit like this, your back is naturally straight. Sitting on a plank, it's naturally straight. Okay? You can also use, if you don't have a plank, you can, hang on 1 second. You can use a towel like this. Roll a towel. These are simple household things. This will be very useful for yoga anyway, by the way. So you roll a towel and sit on ground. You need about 3-4 inches of height at least every time you sit on the ground for yoga, for meditation, for pranayama, and all of that. So that helps the spine be straight. Okay? So having seated like this, let us now begin Omkar. We're going to do it 3 times. Completely, every time you chant the Om, focus on the breath. Focus on the sound that is escaping. Focus on the breath, mainly on the breath, and allow the lungs to completely, till you can't chant anymore. As long as you can go with the Okay? Let's do that together. Take a deep breath. Oh. as you chant the Om and as it exhales, you can even bend forward, completely crush the lungs till you can't chant anymore. Okay? Remember, this is how you do the Omkara Kriya. So breathe forward, bend completely, bend forward and breathe out completely. Again, take a deep breath. Excellent. So I know I told you spine straight and now I'm saying I'm bending, so don't get confused. When you start the Om, you have to sit straight so you can fill the lungs completely. And then as you breathe out, the lungs are getting crushed. So this is what is happening to the lungs. It's getting crushed. And you want to crush it more. So what do? You breathe out, bend forward. You're literally squeezing the lungs to get the breath out. Okay? Just focus on this part of the body. Don't worry about the stomach here at all. In traditional Hatha Yoga, we don't worry too much about the stomach, and we'll come to that as we learn more and more. But just focus on the lungs. Let's start together again. One last Om. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Take a few deep breaths. As you listen to me, let's revise this. Because these classes, once it is there, it's recorded, right? You can always come back and refer to these Kriyas. So watch my hands, what I did here. My hands were kept like this, so I could lean and sit like this. See? Bent, elbows bent, putting my weight on my thighs. So as I bend forward, I'm not like this. I am pressing so that the weight is taken off the back. So I'm bending forward and then pushing the thigh coming up. Deep breathing in and out. The most important focus apart from when we do an asana in a yoga pose, in a yoga practice, in a yoga abhyasa, the asana is very important. The physical posture is very important. But it's like it's statue. It has no life in it. What brings life into the asana, what makes it meditative is when you begin to shift your awareness to the breath while in the pose. So don't worry too much about perfecting the pose. That will come by itself. As the prana begins to move, the body will, I'm talking in long term, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years in time. So as you practice, the prana begins to move, the body will automatically become flexible, the body will automatically get into the poses, you'll get more and more comfortable in the pose. So let that come. They set that ball in motion. Ball of what? The ball of practice, the ball of the body getting slowly flexible and more, getting more motion into the fluidity in the bones, if you will, in the joints especially. So all of this will take place in time. But what you can focus every day and make it a complete session by itself, not as a means to get to some place, but a complete journey by itself is every pose begin to focus on the breath. That is why we begin with this Kriya. Omkara Kriya. So this is the first Kriya. We will always begin the class with Omkara Kriya. Now, the second Kriya that comes now is called Kaka Shuddhi Pranayama. It's called Pranayama general, but it's actually a Kriya. So Kaka Shuddhi Kriya, it's also known as Kaka Shuddhi Pranayama. Kaka Shuddhi. Shuddhi is what? Cleansing. Okay? Kaka is crow. Like the crow, you're going to cleanse the breath. So the crow's beak is like this, correct? So the idea here is to make your mouth like a beak of a crow. That's why it's called Kaka. So the idea is the reason when you spout your mouth like this, you are able to throw the breath further out. Okay? That is the idea of making the mouth like this. This is how your mouth is going to be. Now, It is the same principle of the Omkara Kriya. But what we are going to do here is, we're going to do it a little more forcefully. So I'm going to breathe in, watch what I do, and I'll explain to you. My hands are like this. Again, I start with my spine straight, but as I breathe out, as I'm going to exhale, I'm going to continue to exhale. As I exhale, I'm going to bend forward. Maybe if I get this angle for this camera, you might be able to get it. So watch this. This is how I want to do this, okay? So this is how I want to bend. So I'm sitting straight like this, but then as you breathe out, you have to literally squeeze all of this. Now, in addition to your lungs getting squeezed, a lot of internal organs are also getting squeezed. All this prepares you for other asanas. But most important thing is detoxifying your body. Of course, in today's, especially now in 2020 of June, with all this COVID-19 and all of that, if you have people next to you, please make sure, if you're in some class watching this, and if you have students next to you, make sure you're at least 10 feet away from here, because this is all about breath coming out of your body. But if you're doing it at home, then you shouldn't be worrying about this. Anyway, so sitting straight like this angle is good, right? So you can see everything. You can see my back as well as you follow. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to breathe in, not through my mouth, through my nose. I'm going to breathe in, and I'm going to breathe out through the mouth, just like the Om, but without the sound, okay? So I'm going to breathe out through the mouth, and I will continue breathing, continue exhaling. In other words, continue exhalation till I can exhale no more. I will feel my lungs are empty and there's no air left to breathe out. Then you come up breathing in. Okay? That is why I said Omkara Kriya is a preparation for the Kakashuddhi Kriya. So this is how it goes. Watch, and then we'll do it together. I breathe in, and then so I begin with a force, a force, and then I continue with that. So it is not in and out or any of those kind of things. So it goes like this. Then I breathe in. All right, let's try it together. We're going to do this 5 times. So sit straight, hands on your knees, breathe in, and go. Continue exhalation, continue. And then breathe in. So I might be doing it longer than you do, or you might be doing it longer than I do. So don't try to compare and match with me. Either way, just listen to your body and exhale till you can exhale no more, right? It is your pace. The length of this exhalation is entirely based on your physical body, your age, and all of that. Let's try it again. It's a very powerful exercise. These 2 kriyas alone give you a lot of cleansing that is happening internally. That is why yoga was considered a cleansing, healing practice, and so on. So though these sessions are not therapeutic or necessary for any necessary treatment for any illnesses, I can assure you, if you do this every day, just these 3-4 kriyas every day, they're a complete practice by themselves. All right, 3 more times. Breathe in. And powerful exhalation. Breathe in again. You can always take a couple of breaths in between. This is the first class, so I'm teaching this Kriya slowly. After that, we will just, maybe in the next class, we will go through this a little more faster and add a couple of more Kriyas. Now, you notice when I bend forward, I look into my stomach, so everything is crushing. Looking down, rather. So everything is crushing. All right, 2 more times. Breathe in. Take in a deep breath. Come back. One last time. Breathe in. And powerful exhalation. And breathe in and come up. Excellent. So the reason why it was called Kakashuddhi also is not only because of the beak of the crow, but when you start, the crow goes ka, ka. So you go, so poof. That's how you got to start. You got to start with a jerk in your lungs. You got to breathe out and then continue that exhalation. You're not going to go, not like that, right? One long exhalation. It begins powerfully and stays long. So Omkara Kriya, do it in this order, it's important. Omkara Kriya, first one. Because the sound of the Om brings the mind to a state of mindfulness. You have to be mindful when you do these practices, right? So it brings you a state of mindfulness, number one. Secondly, when you do the Omkara Kriya along with the breathing out, the exhalation is kind of a soft way to prepare you for this rather violent, hard, hardcore exhalation. Like, we are not an Omkara. Going, oh, forward, and you're fully, and you breathe. 3 ohms, maybe 5 ohms, and 5, not more than that. 3 is ideal because that's only prepares you. Then this Kriya, the Kakashuddhi Kriya, you do it 5 times. Breathe in, exhale, like exhalation, and then come up. Take a couple of breaths in between, and then again exhale fully. The whole idea is then you slowly begin to create a habit of focusing on exhalations. All right? So these are the first 2 Kriyas. Then the next Kriya will lead, this will lead to the next Kriya. We will learn that today is Tuesday, so we will learn that in our Thursday class. All right. Let's, in the meantime, let's get up on our feet and do a few rounds of warm-ups. So I'm going to put these away for now. Unless you are not able to absolutely stand up for whatever reason, then you can sit and do this. But I don't suggest you sit and do these warm-ups. These are simple warm-up. You can stand and do these warm-ups. All right. Stand casually with feet apart, casually. All right. Back straight. We're going to begin with our neck. So the first exercise of the neck is simply you're going to drop it down and drop it back. Gently. And down. And look up all the way, like this, all the way up to the ceiling. So your neck, back of the neck is squeezed. Now if you find this difficult, you can take your hands and place it behind the neck and then drop it down and drop it back. As you drop it back, you can support the neck. And then one more. Down, up, one last one. Down. You have to just keep breathing in this. You don't have to worry about correlating breath with these movements at this point. Okay, excellent. The next one is, again, we are focusing 4 exercises for the neck. We're going to turn the neck and only the neck to, let's begin with the left side. So, stand straight and then slowly as you breathe out, turn your neck to the left. Make sure the shoulder doesn't follow. You don't want it to go like this, okay? So the shoulder doesn't follow, only the neck. This is an exercise for the neck. And come back. Now when you're standing like this, you can keep your hands at the back like this. So it keeps your shoulder. The reason why is this will help your shoulder stay down. Otherwise, you might go, your shoulder might come up. You want it to be down. Okay, let's try the other side. Turn your neck to the right. Look as far back as you can at eye level. Breathe in and out. Squeeze the neck. Hold it there and come back. Very nice. And the third one is neck rotations. Again, you can keep your palms at the back like this, okay? Or you could keep your hands on your neck when you rotate. Simple rotation. Loose and relax. 1, clockwise. Let's go clockwise. 2, 3, loose and relax.